Maseches Eruvin daf Peiches. The Gemara brings a machlokes to the shaynis if you could be spill shevchin derech gzustra. Gzustra is a mechitza that allows you to take water out of a sea on Shabbos because it blives like a mechitza because of good achas mechitza. The question is if you're allowed to spill shevchin through those mechitzas or not. There's a tremendous discussion in the Mefarshim of what's the question, why you should and why you shouldn't be allowed to spill the shevchin there. And Chumas Hadashim brings a Mordechai that says the fact that it's tzad it's mutter is because the psik reisha on the Isidra Banan's mutter. That means you're spilling water through the gzustra. It's a psik reisha, it's going to take it out of the custom of the gzustra, and that's the Hoitzah and the Carmel. This is a psikration, is the Banan's mutter. On that, the Magen Avraham says, no, it's not a raya to all psikration, it's the Banan. Over here, it's not an Issa B'chlal, because you're not doing anything, it's coming b'meila, the water's going out of the custom of the gzustra. And there's two mahalchim in the Achronim to explain why it's not an Isser. The Chazon Ish says that you spilled the water in the Koislim, in the reshut yochid, which is established because of Yigud Achas Mechitzta, and the fact that the water goes out has nothing to do with your mice. It's because the water of the sea moves memela, has nothing to do with your mice b'chlal. However, the Eglital writes the reason why it's mutter is because he didn't spill it right next to the side of the reshut yochid. And he says it's like koyach sheni, that it's mutter. Then he asks, why is it like koyach sheni? Why is it mutter? It should be like Zoyer V'ruch Masayosoi, the Gum Tzumvur in the Sugim Babakamed Af Samach, that even though you ain't a Meskavin to be Zoyer, you have Zoyer V'ruch Masayosoi, it's mitztarev to your Maisa or Malacha Zoyer. So over here also, the fact that you spilled the water and the sea took the water out of your reshut yochid should be mitzurv to your maisa. On that, the Eglital says no, that it's specifically by Zoyer because that's the derech of the Malacha Zoyer. A different answer you could say why over here we don't have the halachos of Zoyer V'ruch Masayosai, even though we find the Lagabe Malacha Zoyer according to the Yesod of the Mishnah Shabbos, which you mentioned in the Shir Masechah Shabbos, Dabez, and many other shurim, that Melechas Hoitzah is different than all other Melechas. All other Melechas, the Iker Chiyuv of the Melecha is because of the accomplishment, the Melechas Machsheves, the Shinoi that's made in the Dover. You cook something, you have a Melechas Machsheves, you have a Tikun. However, by Hoitzah, the Isser is not because the accomplishment that now the Chayfetz is not the reshut. The Hoitzah is a Melecha Gerua, and the Ikr is the Maisa itself. So according to this, you could say only by other malachas that the Issa is the accomplishment. Do you say Malachas Machshavas Asher Torah and Zoyer V'ruch Masayos is Chayiv? However, by Tzad, the Issa is the Maisa itself. It doesn't pertain the halacha of Zoyer V'ruch Masayos. In Psiyat Dishmaya, I found that they bring down this teretz from the Sefer Ma'iri Eish from Shlomo Zalman Auerbach Zechoyin Levacha V'ayin Sham. Another teretz you could say according to the Yesod that we mentioned in Shurim in Shabbos Daf Tzadi Beis and other Shurim they wrote about B'siyat Dishmai and Sefer Manas Chen that for Hoitzah there's a special qualification in order to be considered a Maisa Hoitzah. It has to be a chashivas of a Maisa Hoitzah. And to make that it's talia and what you had das to be moitzi, and therefore since it's only Zoyer V'ruch Masayosai and it happened by itself, you won't be mechuyev because the halacha of Zoyer V'ruch Masayosai. Ein the shurim from Risam Garbish Lita that asked that's mashma lekuli alma. There's no issa be'enim miskavin. Big about Hoitzah, the Carmelists, and the question is: are you miskavin? Ain't miskavin? Yes. Why is no issa ain't miskavin? Ain't miskavin by deraisa is also by deraisa. So why shouldn't it be also by issa derabbanan? And it says a beautiful answer. It says the Rebbe says in V'unar Sameach that although there's an issa, but ain't miskavin, that's only a lav of the sasa malacha, but the essay of Laman Yanuach, you're not over because mikamokam hare gufoy noch. Since you weren't intending to do a malacha, So therefore, you're not over on the man Yanuach. You were Shavis. It happens to be, it came from you, Malacha. So therefore, according to Hamavur, the Rambam Perchof Milcha Shabbos, that all Shvusin are included in Issa L'man Yanuach, on the Asay of L'man Yanuach. So therefore, when you have a Miskaven, you're not being over on the Asay B'chlal, it's not B'chlal, L'man Yanuach B'chlal by your Issa, they're on the Ayin Sham. Moving for the other Gemara is the Shaila of Yesh Gezel B'Shabbos, in Gezel B'Shabbos, if someone takes a Shtamshus on a reshut, does it answer on somebody else on Shabbos, the Chazon Ish, in his Michtavim, and it's Meforsim that this was a Michtav to Shimon Shkop, and we mentioned the Shurim Daf Chav, says that there's many rayas, that the Isser Eiveh Chatzeres doesn't need a bailus on the reshus. As long as you have a reshus, you have a heter, shtamshus, that's enough to make a chiv erev chatzeris. And one of the rayas is from our Gemara that the whole discussion, the Gemara of yesh gezel, ein gezel, but if it wouldn't be for gizeila and you would have a right, you have a reshus, or they both would be big gizeila, they definitely need erev chatzeris. You see, you don't need a bailus to be mechuyev in erev chatzeris, and he argues on the B'Shemeshkop that said that you need a bailus of moment to have a chiyuv erev chatzeris. And the Chazon Ish continues that there's many rayas that you don't need a bailus of moment from the fact that the one Daf Yud Zayin says that one of the halachas that they were kilu b'machana in the camp is erev chatzeris. In the camp, no one owns the reshus, and afal pikin, if it wouldn't have been for a specific kula, they would need erev chatzeris. You see, you don't need a bailus of moment. Or could be over here, it could be madched. Over here, all of the people didn't have a bailus of moment, so therefore they'll need erev chatzeris. And the whole discussion is when there's one person that has a reshus moment and another visitor that doesn't have a reshus moment, that's a whole different shayla. Another rayla brings from the one that chof but pasi birois that connected to a chotzer. They need a chatzeris even though pasi birois has no reshus of moment, and it's Sarachian from the Ran in the Dorm Daf Peiches that says that a isha you can be makner erev chatzeris only because she has a bias by Sechotzer, and she has a bias by Sechotzer because it said didn't form any b'nechsayich because of lo b'oidarusa. So tzarchian, why do you need because of lo b'oidarusa that she should have a real reshus moment in the bias? Without that, she has a right to be mishtamish, to live in the house. So that itself should be enough to mechayev erev chatzeris. So it could be over there, it's different because the Isha is bottled to the Baal, like we find the Svar in the Rishonim, that Oirich could be bottled to the Balabas. Over here also, if it wouldn't have been for Kaisev Loida Arusa and she has a real Rishus Mammon, she would be bottled to her husband. Moving further on, the Mishnah says, you can't spill water in the chotzer because it goes outside of the Rishus HaYochid, and the Gemara says, because hani taimi within the alramis, it's taimi, it gets absorbed, and you're not being moitzi the water outside of the reshus hayachid. The Chazon Ish has a discussion: how will we make b'zman hazeh to use the sewer system and to spill the water out of our reshus hayachid? And our pipes should be a problem even if it's more than dalramis, because only because it gets absorbed in the karka, it's mutter within dalramis, but our metal pipes and plastic pipes that there's nothing gets absorbed, it should be also even without a dalaramis. He says, although Tosis brings from the Rashbam that if it's covered, there's no isser. He said the Shulchan Aruch is mavur that we don't paskin like that, and even though our pipes are covered, it's a problem. And he says it's mavur and Shulchan Aruch should be also even by Carmelis. So the Chazon Ish says the answer to this question is that since our pipes are not chozi v'shtamshus b'chlal, it's not daled al daled, there's no area that the bnei reshus hayachid could mishtamish with the pipes. It doesn't have a loch of chur reshus hayachid, it has a loch of makam p'tor. So therefore, you let us take the water out from the reshus hayachid derech makam p'tor to a carmelis, which is mutter. But he asked, according to the machmirim, then we have Rishus Rabim So how will be mutter? So he says it must be it's koichoi, and outside of Dalabah, since it goes through first the caramelist, so therefore it's mutter. Ayin oid b'nesivas Shabbos, that if it's derech mokem ptur, it has halacha like koichoi b'caramelist that goes to b'rabbanan of ayin sham.